Welcome to EUDTP. I'm really delighted to see you, this many, assisting to the EU Digital Technologies and Policy Conference, both presentially today or remotely connected through our Zoom call. So today we are being hosted at the Maison Irène and Frédéric Joliot-Curie. So I want to thank them for hosting us. As you know, tomorrow we will be hosted at the European Parliament, at the European Parliament Research Service. And I think that, we have been working a lot on this conference, of course. I want to thank all the people who have made this possible, organizers, speakers, chairs, many people who is here or who is not here. But I want to say that this seems like the right time and the right place here in Brussels to discuss many of the things that we will address today, right? Things related to digital technologies, to AI, to regulation, to policy, to energy, etc. Right? So I'm really looking forward to hear the discussions. So just have a very brief practical points before introducing our Vice President of IP Paris. To all the audience, I remind you that on this room, there are these signs: food or drinking is not allowed. So food and drinking will be on the room next door, right? But please do not bring food or drink here. We will have the breaks between the sessions. That's the first things. To the speakers, I have been insisting on that, and I know that the chairs will be insisting on that too. Please stick to the time. We have a very dense program. You can see it on the website. There are QR codes where you can get to the website. So stick to the time, 10 minutes, not more in any case than 15 minutes each, because otherwise we are not going to make it. And for those of you who are planning to stay tomorrow, we will meet at 8:30 in the Esplanade du Parlement Européen to access the facilities. You know that the EP is a slightly more complex place to enter. So please be there. You will receive, in principle, a mail from the European Parliament confirming these details. But in any case, if there is any doubt or anything, just reach out to us and we will clarify, okay? So this is all that I had. So without further delay, because we are a few minutes late already, I will introduce you Christopher Cripps, please, Vice President for Europe and International Affairs of the Institut Polytechnique de Paris. So, Christopher.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. Bonjour. You all look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as we say in the United States. I am absolutely delighted to be with you this morning in Brussels. And as Juan-Antonio rightly said, what better place to be here to talk about digital technologies? This is a city of government, of Europe, of policy, of education, a city turned towards the future and the trends that drive us. I had a great experience on the train this morning. You ever get on the train and you think, oh God, who's going to be sitting next to me? I got really lucky. This young man, early 20s, sat down next to me, architecture student in Versailles, very lively at 6:22 in the morning for a young man. And we got to talking about his education. He was on his way to his internship in Rotterdam for 6 months. And he started asking me, having found out that I was in higher education, how do you think I can stay current? How do you think I will make a difference? His name was Auguste. I said, Auguste, what I've learned just in the last year at IP Paris and everything that's going on in digital technologies, I said, stay up with what's going on in this field. This is your generation, along with climate, what's going on with the planet, and all of the rest of it. AI will now shape what you do for your entire career. Stay current, stay in tune with it, and work with it. I often joke that my technical skills got stuck in the 90s, and it's pretty true. But since I've been at IP Paris and seen our dedication to digital technologies, I've started dusting things off and embracing it before I get lost myself. So on behalf of IP Paris, Institut Polytechnique de Paris, welcome to this two-day conference on digital technologies, organized and led by researchers from Institut Polytechnique de Paris, in collaboration with our fine colleagues at Eurotech with a CH, Eurotech with a Q. This is how we have to say this at IP Paris. For IEEE of Society of Social, IEEE, and the European Parliamentary Research Service, EPRS, who will host the conference tomorrow. Special thanks to Institut Polytechnique de Paris researcher Juan-Antonio Cordero, gracias, for bringing together outstanding researchers, professionals, scholars, and policymakers to foster discussion and promote collaboration on high-impact digital technologies shaping the EU's society and economy. Now, this year's conference is the second edition, I understand, of this event. The first edition was held in November 2023, so that was a while back, and I'm sure the weather wasn't as nice, at the European Parliament. Now, it was called AI Evolution, correct? AI Evolution, sponsored by the European Parliament and then MEP Eva Maria Popcheva, a member of the EPRS. This year's edition of EUDTP features 2 days of programming with 6 sessions, and I look forward to listening to a couple of them. 30 speakers, thank you for being here and for your dedication, and 6 moderators from over 20 academic and research institutions, including researchers from Eurotech member universities such as TU Munich, DTU in Denmark, and our good friends at TU Eindhoven, with more than 100 registered participants attending both in person, and hello to all of those who are following us online. Now, from cutting-edge advancements in key digital technologies, particularly artificial intelligence, to the physical and fundamental prerequisites, such as energy production and distribution, this conference will also address the social and institutional implications of their widespread adoption, including disinformation, digital regulation, and their impact on the economy and employment. Topics that are very dear to the young people that we educate in our various institutions, of course. Today, we are hosted by our good friends at France Université, here at the Maison Irène et Frédéric Joliot-Curie, where the first 4 sessions will be held with a stronger focus on research and technological advancements, from what I understand. Particularly, you have sessions on AI technologies, services, and applications, digital infrastructures, materials, and physical basis of computing, and then energy and sustainability. Tomorrow at the European Parliament, you will have 2 sessions more focused on policy implications. That makes sense. Digital regulation and strategy in the EU, and then impact of data platforms, AI technologies, and regulation. Now, probably everybody says this, but this is true. It's more than just another academic conference. With EUDTP, the aim is to build a robust interdisciplinary community and establish a regular platform of high-level exchanges in Europe. And IP Paris is completely in line with that idea. We are currently in the process of putting together a web of partners worldwide to work with us in advancing artificial intelligence research, digital technologies, and so on. And we are coming together with some very prestigious colleagues throughout the world. The initiative aspires to become a biannual event here in Brussels, bringing together 4 key actors: academic researchers, the digital industry itself, public opinion leaders, and EU institutions and policymakers, including the European Parliament and the European Commission, of course. EUDTP is an open and evolving initiative. We welcome collaboration with other universities and institutional partners, Please join us and tell your friends. Let's fill up an even bigger room next time. And we are actively working to expand and consolidate these partnerships in the near future, as I mentioned earlier. With what's going on in the world, people, in terms of geopolitics, financial issues in higher education and research, and all of the rest, there's no better time to work together and to foster the relationships. We cannot go it alone anymore in any field. Now, the goal is to explore the current state and future directions of science and technology in Europe, and to assess how public policy and strategic action can support and accelerate progress. By fostering dialogue between academia, industry, public opinion, and EU institutions, the EUDP initiative aims to contribute directly to strengthening European sovereignty in key technological sectors, but also it supports innovation ecosystems, encourages cross-border collaboration, and helps position Europe as a competitive, forward-looking player in the global digital landscape. We can never be more at the forefront. At IP Paris and in our schools, which are École Polytechnique, ENSTA, École des Ponts, ENSAE, Télécom Paris, et Télécom Sud Paris, our commitment to AI, as I've already touched on, and digital technologies, and their societal, environmental, and economic impacts is absolutely a central part of our institutional mission. It has become part of our DNA. This commitment is embodied in our interdisciplinary research centers, which bring together the expertise of researchers and partners to address major societal challenges from multiple complementary disciplinary perspectives. A primary example is our interdisciplinary center known as Hi Paris. Look that up on the web. You'll find out a lot about it. It's one of our star centers, the Center on Data Analytics and Artificial Intelligence for Science, Business, and Society. Hi Paris focuses on fostering impactful projects with both industrial and societal applications. Some of our other key centers at IP Paris, there are 7 altogether. E4C, the Interdisciplinary Center for Energy and Climate Change. M4S, the Interdisciplinary Center for Materials for Society. And for example, further afield, thanks to the merger of ENSTA with their sister campus in Brittany, we have the new Interdisciplinary Center for Seas and Oceans, CIMO, C-I-M-O. And it's a fabulous new initiative that we're so happy to have inaugurated just a few months ago. These initiatives highlight how IP Paris integrates cutting-edge research with real-world concerns. To further illustrate our engagement, we were absolutely honored last February. IP Paris was asked by the President's Office of France to host the AI Science and Society Conference, the scientific prelude to the Paris AI Action Summit, which you recall was just a few days later. We had about 3,500 people come through the door at IP Paris, including all of the superstars in AI and associated fields. It was a big honor, and we made a lot of progress in the dialogue there, which was then carried through to the AI Action Summit the following days. It was an interdisciplinary conference exploring how AI can inform and be informed by collective intelligence in fields such as science, economics, and beyond. We are strongly committed to continuing this momentum in collaboration with Eurotech and all of our partners around the world, as I mentioned earlier. The web we are in the middle of building in AI and digital technologies. So it is a great pleasure to welcome you all here today. You've come from all over Europe, it seems. I've heard accents from all over the place. If you're wondering, I'm American originally, but I've been in France for 150 years. I say I'm a French fried American. But actually, this is the month of my anniversary. The 17th of March, I would have been in France for 36 years, and I would do it all again. I'm happy to be in France, happy to be in Europe, happy to be part of the higher education research scene. So I wish you 2 days of enriching discussions and collaborative work. A special thank you to our colleagues at IP Paris, in particular, Maria Monteiro, who's done a fabulous job of organizing. Again, Juan-Antonio, thanks for pulling all of this together. Eurotech, vielen Dank. Anita, wo bist du? Maybe she's out there working, but thanks so much. And EPRS for making this event possible. Make some noise about it. I'm on LinkedIn, Christopher Cripps. Go follow me, let's connect, talk about this event, put it out there, put out the pictures, put out the dialogue, let people know why we're here and why it's important that we are here. As I said, no better time to make an impact and to partner on these topics. Thank you for being with us. Have a great conference.